Okay, so I'm going to use this. I'm not going to do like a full video review because there's actually a lot you can do with this. I'm going to get out of the box so you can see it and you can get the idea of what I intend to do with it. There are different points, different tips. I have the little Allen screw or Allen wrench. Here are some instructions. If you want to freeze the frame and read the instructions, they show how the system works. There is a pencil holder, I believe. That might just be a nub. So somewhere in here you can make marks with a pencil holder. This is just a hard point. Oh, that's your pin. That's your travel there. And so these are flat feet versus the narrower tips if you were trying to get between something. I guess go into a corner. So that would be how you set up your corner measurement. What I need right now, I guess, is the other one of these. What I'm going to do, there's a double channel, and there are set screws, so you can lock these onto your rods. They actually recommend aluminum. I happen to have some 3/8 oak, and I just want to put these guys together quickly. Loosen up the tightening screw and just get them so they're traveling. So now I have one long rod this way and one long rod going that way. And so I can go into the bathroom and immediately make the measurement that is critical to advancing the bathtub installation situation. All right, let's do it. Okay, so super simple device. I'm going to tell you about it. I'm using it to fix my bathroom. It's a woodworking marking gauge. Okay, so here's a close-up of the mechanism right here. You just loosen this up, and then this rod will travel in and out as well as the other one. This other one's a little sticky, but they will move. So like I said, if you got shorter rods, you can swap these out and you can put some regular rods in, shorter ones, and you can measure smaller things. They actually have it set up, Rockler does, so you can use an Allen screw to tighten up this rod, and then you would tighten up the opposite rod, and then that would allow you to move them in and out and lock them into position. And so it's a nifty idea, and there are moments where, like I said, a tape measure just isn't accurate enough. So I just wanted to show off how I'm using this little Rockler thingamajig. It works if you purchase some kind of 3/8 rod material, long cylinder. So a dowel is one way to do it. These are a couple oak dowels I had sitting around. 3/8 inch is the size. They recommend using aluminum because it will not curve and change with humidity and so on. But this will, I believe, do what I need it to do. So I loosen this screw right here, and then these can travel. There's a whole other bunch of accessories that I don't need for this. What I'm doing is I'm checking the distance between this furring strip on this wall, and then I'm going to slide this out. I'm trying to try and keep it as level as possible here. You could put a little bullet level or glue on a little baby level on the bottom, I guess, if you wanted to. I don't think it's that necessary. And so that looks about right. So I tighten it up, and then I just take out my trusty Stanley Fat Max tape measure, and then I run it down to the end of the stick, and it's about 59¼ inches. So the other thing that's handy is if you think the wall might be leaning back or tilted, or if it's an old house, remodelers are used to houses that just aren't that square. So now you can check, and if you're measuring at this level, you can move it up and see if it's still a good fit or if it's kind of closing in on you. And then you can do another measurement, lock it in, and then double check and see if in fact the walls are crooked, and then you can compensate on your cut. So that's almost down to about 59 1/8. So it's important to have a starting point, have a finish point, measure that area, and then kind of reset and then double check. So I need to start down here lower, but I just wanted to show you that I think this is going to be pretty handy for me doing this. The other thing where it's really handy is measuring inside of drawers. You cut your dados. Let me say kind of a random. Um, you're cutting the channels in for your to put in a dresser. So let's say you didn't build the drawer that you're replacing the bottom on. Let's say you pulled it out of a piece of furniture. You're flipping the dresser. You pull out the old piece of drawer bottom. It's plywood and it's water damaged, for instance. So you get some fresh plywood. This will help you figure out going from point to point. You can stick this into the drawer, and it's another use where you can, there are some tapered points where you can put it right into the dado, run it over to the other side of the dado, and it will tell you exactly how far it is if the drawer is a random size. You can try measuring and so on, but this is a nice, accurate, simple, no measure way until you just take out the tape and say, yeah, the drawer is, 32 from one side to the other. So you just set up your saw, whatever you need, and then you cut your piece, and then you just, if you have some shorter sticks, you can measure the depth the same way. So there are moments where it's just really hard to know exactly what you have. If it needs to be super precise, when you take a tape measure and you bend that tape, you can kind of do it, but I like to know exactly what I'm going to get, and this helps me do it. So I hope this helps.